Harry, Sasha, how's it going?
Good.
I'm going to make you guys some coffee today. Someone that I know at church yesterday, Rich Krisner, I'm going to mess it up, but I think he says every day's a better day or something. And people ask him how you're doing, he's like, every day better or something like that. I like that. So, Sasha, for the people who don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself to them.
Hi, I'm Sasha. I'm 15 years old. I go to Delaware County Christian School, and I go to youth here every Sunday.
Every Sunday? You're here every Sunday?
Maybe not every Sunday.
Most Sundays. I would say, like, this year, probably like 90% attendance. That's pretty good.
She's consistent.
Yeah. Sasha, how long have you known Jesus?
Like, my whole life.
Your whole life?
Yeah.
Why? Talk about that a little bit.
My parents, raised me in, a Christian household, and I always went to church. I've actually been going to Fairview since I was, a baby, so.
Yeah, I saw a picture of you from the old church directory today.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, you and Seth and your parents.
The archives.
Oh, yeah.
So your parents are Christians. They've kind of raised you in the faith. Talk about a little bit about what that means to you.
To be raised in faith?
To be raised in the faith, yeah. Have parents that are Christians and stuff like that.
I think sometimes it can go into, stereotypical, oh, she's from church, she's always been there. But, I kind of, have always known about Jesus, but he, worked a lot in my life when I got older, I guess. In high school.
Yeah. Do you have any, good memories from, children's church growing up?
Yeah.
What was it called back then? It's Kids in the Village now. It's a clubhouse. What was it called back then? Was it the S'mores Theater?
I have no idea.
You don't remember?
I think it was called Kids in the Village.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long time.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So do you have any memories you want to share? Any funny things or?
I remember we used to get these magnets, and they had verses on them. And there was one about Jonah and the whale. And it used to be on my fridge for the longest time. It's not there anymore.
Wow.
Did you have a moment in your life where you can remember this is where I followed Jesus?
Yeah. I was in 4th grade, and my teacher was talking about baptism and how one of my peers, I guess, was baptized a few days ago. And then that night I went to my mom and I was my teacher was talking about this, and I want to be saved. And then me and my mom, we just prayed it. Yeah.
Nice.
So there was a moment where you followed Jesus.
There was.
Sorry about that. You're gonna have to repeat it because I have missed it.
Oh.
So repeat it.
I was in 4th grade.
Okay.
And my teacher was talking about baptisms with some of my peers, and
So 4th grade.
Yeah.
4th grade, you got baptized.
No.
So you got baptized sometime after.
So your teacher was talking about baptism.
Yes, and I went home to my mom, and I was oh, I want to be saved. I want to do baptism. I actually didn't get baptized, but I did get saved that day.
Okay. So then what happened after that? So you didn't get baptized then?
No.
But you got baptized recently.
Because
I remember, because my wife baptized you.
Yeah.
So kind of talk a little bit about when that started to shift. Obviously you said you're 15 now, so you're old enough to make that decision on your own. So talk about why you made that decision, why you got baptized, stuff like that.
So I'm a sophomore in high school. So last year I was a freshman, and I was going into high school, and I was struggling with friendships and stuff, and trying to find my people in high school, and I kind of didn't know where to lean on, and I finally hit rock bottom, and I was I need to reach out to God. This is the only way I can really find happiness. And then I reached out, and it was still rocky, but then I just continuously prayed for God to show me that He's with me, and I got amazing friends that are in my life now. And a few months after, Lauren invited me to youth, and then I started going to youth more, and then I made a lot of really good friendships there too. So, and then that's when I actually decided to get baptized. I was talking about it with Lauren, and then she was just let's just do it, and I was yeah.
Yeah, nice. So you feel youth has been an important part of your journey?
Definitely.
Talk about what does it give you? You said you have friends from youth, but what else does it give you?
I mean, I feel Sunday is my favorite day of the whole week. I mean, I go to service in the morning, and I get to volunteer and help with the middle schoolers.
Shout out middle school.
And then I go to work, and then I go to youth group, and that's my my favorite time. I get to like, it's just like a community outside of your school that you get to like meet and like talk to other people that like share the same belief as you, and it's kind of just like you just like the friendships I have there and like the conversations and like the feeling that you get that you're like just like in the presence of the Lord is like it's really powerful, and I love youth.
Do you have a favorite part of service?
Worship or small group.
They're both great.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Harry, how have you seen Sasha, like, what's been the difference over the last year? How long have you been, like, the youth pastor, high school and middle school? Both
Middle
combined.
school was past 3.5 years. High school was the past year.
Okay. So you started taking over high school just as Sasha was, like, kind of having her encounter with Jesus. But you had Sasha when she was in middle school as well.
I did, yeah.
So how have you seen her change over the last few years?
Yeah, you have grown a lot over the past few years. One of the ways that I saw it started to happen was you wanted to be more involved in the things that are going on, specifically volunteering. You wanted to serve God and spread that love that you got to experience to the middle schoolers, and so you started serving in there, and as you built connections there. Kind of transitioned up into the high school as well, where you made even more friends, right?
Yeah.
And a community started to build for you. And I think that's one of the most important things of student ministry is the community that gets built. And that's the glue that keeps people there and like gets them coming, right? That's what you experienced as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like, like I've heard a lot in youth ministry, like a core group of kids can like change the whole landscape of the youth ministry. And like, I think there's like something to that for any age group, like whether it's youth group or it's someone else, like just doing life with people and like being excited to bring new people into that community as well, can like really change the temperature of a church, of a community. And stuff like that. So, Sasha, you go to a Christian school.
Yes.
So, you feel like you have a pretty good idea of, like, you're in the Bible a lot. Like, because you have Bible class and stuff like that. But what about, like, in your personal time? What do you do to, like, grow closer to Jesus?
So, last year, I started, like, to read the book of Psalms, and I read a verse each day.
Okay.
And I made like a wall of like psalms, basically, of like me explaining what I can take away from that psalm. And I have like a sticky note wall like all over in my bedroom, and it's like the first thing I like wake up and I see it, and it just kind of just like shows me like God's presence. That's kind of how I stay like in it. And I have a devotional I do as well, and I do the verse of the day every night. And I think it's like when I wake up, the first thing I do is go on my phone, but I try to make the first thing that I do look at the first of the day. To kind of be like, I start my morning with Jesus.
God first.
Exactly.
Great way to do it.
Yep.
How has that... Sorry, this is kind of loud. How has that kind of changed the way... So, sounds like it's like maybe a somewhat of a new practice, like doing the verse of the day first, or have you been doing that for a while?
The verse of the day I started like in October.
Okay. How has that kind of changed the way the rest of your day has gone? Or has it?
It kind of like helps me to like not the first thing I do like look on Instagram or like TikTok and like see what other people are doing, but instead like it kind of shows me that God has like full control over my life.
Yeah.
And like it's something that like I have to like discipline myself to do. Like I shouldn't have to worry about like the social media, but I really just want to focus on God. And it's been something that like I kind of like look forward to seeing what the verse of the day is now, and like see how it can apply to me basically. So
yeah, that's cool.
I love when the verse of the day just perfectly aligns with like something going on through the day.
I know. That's my favorite. I'm like, what can I take away from this?
Thanks,
That looks like a swan. It was not on purpose.
No, that's
or
hard.
a phoenix.
I'll show the camera.
Yeah, no. Dump it everywhere. Yeah, cool. So, do you feel like there's anything on your heart that like God's been teaching you lately? Like I know, I'm sure there's lots of things, but is there one thing that's like sticking out lately in your life?
I think not judging people and like trying to like know that like everyone's story is different, and it's like it's quick to judge people based on like I mean, Harry was talking about it on Sunday. Like, no one's too different to be Christian, and like, as much as you might think like that you have it all in control, you don't, and like, it's gonna like all crash and burn if you don't have Jesus with you. Like, and you're gonna realize that. And it's kind of like, I try to like not to judge people because like I never know what people are going through because people never knew what I was going through last year. So it's kind of just like, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's great.
Is there anything? This is kind of backtracking a little bit. Is there anything like looking at your parents who are like strong Christians, like they're here at church all the time and they always took you to church? Are you? I mean, obviously you're grateful for that, but like. I think that's something that, having Jesus in the home, it seems like it started you on a good path, and eventually you had to make that decision for yourself, and same for me, and your parents were Christians as well.
Yeah.
But I think that's something I took for granted a lot, and I'm hoping you don't take it for granted in your life, but having strong Christian parents who set that example for me and who I can still go to all the time. Like, I call my dad all the time and like talk to him about stuff going on in my walk with Jesus and stuff going on in my life and Alabama basketball, whatever it is. Like I'm always talking to my parents, and I hope that you get to do that forever as well.
Yeah.
I hope that you're getting to do that still, Harry, too. And so yeah, I think if people listening are encouraged just by the fact that like it matters to our kids, and that's the kind of parent I want to be. It matters to kids, it matters to families to have Jesus in the home, to make him an integral part of the home. Like, we were praying before every meal. We'd get in trouble if we eat before we pray.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like that for you guys, but Harry, do you have anything looking back like you're like, man, I'm glad my parents like set that rhythm for me? Do you have like a specific thing? So for me, like, they were always really careful about like what they allowed me to consume, so it's kind of annoying, but like couldn't watch like Harry Potter when I was a kid.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
But even going into like teenage years, like they would get on to me if I was listening to like rap music that had a lot of cuss words in it or whatnot, and it seemed really annoying at the time. But now as an adult, I'm seeing like my mom used to always say, trash goes in, trash goes out, and it's like true. Like, and even now with algorithms, like you can it's like a reflection of your heart when you're scrolling through things, and like, so that's a big thing for me. Like what I consume matters, that I learned from my parents. What about you?
I'd say family dinners where we talk about God and our days together, and just making that a big priority in our lives, to spend time together as a family. And I think that's a really important part of helping build a child's faith, my faith. Because there's a lot more hours available for that than there are for church on a Sunday.
For real, yeah. 167 hours throughout the week. And what's crazy is that we're at school for, 40 of those as kids growing up, and we're at sports for another 20 or whatever. Like, it goes fast. But those parts where we can slow down, I think that matters a lot. So, do you have anything? I know you're still on your little journey of growing with your parents, and you're a teenager, and you're rebellious, and...
No.
I'm kidding.
I think coming to church every Sunday, because it's like a habit for me now, and it's kind of like, I'm glad that I have that habit to like be like, oh, I can't do anything on Sunday, like this is the time I do this and this, and it's just kind of like, I'm glad I have that habit, because like church means a lot to me now. And like growing up, when my mom was like, oh, you can't go somewhere because they have church, and it's like, what? But now it's like I choose to not go places because I have like this group or something. So
yeah. Or you'll like, even if like something comes up and like you need a ride, like you're seeking out that ride. You're not just taking an excuse to get out of church. And so I think that's something that I think is cool about you, Sasha.
Thank you.
And I know that because my wife picks you up almost every Sunday.
Yep.
It's great.
And drops me off.
Yeah. I think it's just because you like Lauren and you wanted to take you.
I love Lauren, but no, if it wasn't for Lauren, I don't think I would have like experienced youth how I do now.
Got those same connections you have now.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have grown. I mean, I definitely grown so much in my faith because of youth. So.
Yeah, the people around us matter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shout out youth leaders, make it happen.
Shout out people who love Jesus and take it seriously to help others too. Yeah. So, anything else you want to share with the people? You don't have to. You can say no.
I'm trying to think of like a philosophical
Oh yeah.
Philosophical.
Philosophical. Yeah.
Philosophical.
Yeah.
Philosophical thing I can leave with them. Let me think.
Jeopardy.
Don't worry, we can cut all this silence
Oh,
out.
Yeah.
perfect. Reach out to God when you need it the most. No, I don't like that.
Oh, that was good.
I feel like
I liked it.
Yeah.
but
Isn't that what you did?
that is what I did. Okay. Reach out to God when you need it the most.